Ah, yes. Good old Stormveil Castle. A rundown castle that somehow maintains its beauty despite some of the most annoying enemies so far. But that is a story we'll get into right after our sponsor. So to be a bit more clear, this is actually about halfway through my playthrough of Stormveil Castle. If you want to see the path to get to the boss from here, skip to... I'm going to put it in somewhere around here. You can get there in like 5 minutes from that place. You can get to it really quickly from that, but it's not quite. I'm not gonna show you the path just yet. But for now, we'll just kind of follow along with my gameplay and go over stuff that I either found funny, interesting, or annoying. And the first thing I encounter after this point, if you want to see the previous path to get to where I am currently, go watch the previous Elden Ring video. I should have up. But the first thing I encounter are these
Are all of these explosive
fucking
arrows?
birds. And you don't understand how much these things suck. I've heard about how the dogs in Souls games are super annoying. But
Oh,
boy, let me tell you,
careful with that
these
thing.
things, flying things, stupid birds. I hate birds. They're a government conspiracy. Definitely. They're just, it, how do they throw the gunpowder and it explodes? That doesn't make sense. They don't have anything that sparks it, I don't think. And if they do, there doesn't seem to be any visual representation of that, I don't think. So that doesn't make any sense. And they're annoying to hit because of the camera. And when you try to hit them, it's like, oh, they're sweeping above you, and the camera's freaking out because it doesn't know how to follow it properly. And it's just,
Oh god.
ah, ah, ah. I don't like these birds. I don't like these birds, man. But after this, we go into a church thing, maybe. And
Gotcha.
there's a magic man there. You can get sorceries, I think. I think you
Hello.
buy. No, it's not sorceries, is it? It's Ashes of War. I don't actually remember. It's been a minute. But yeah, you can buy something from him. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot.
Yep.
We're outside. You get your not your first encounter.
I don't know what
The
left
first
click
encounter
is.
after this point with these really annoying knights that are really tanky and have like some storm attacks or wind rather. I
Oh, there's a
personally ended up
bumper
avoiding
here.
them and taking
Good.
this path right here to go down into the next area.
Pretty sure I can make that.
I also explored a bit. I'll show you
Ooh.
some of the items maybe.
I don't know what that. Oh.
But you can jump on the roof from your starting point, which is the first part of the path to skip right to the boss. And then I headed inside. I got a couple items after exploring around a little bit. I would say do your
What's
own
in here?
exploring, maybe.
I know I
Probably
got
not actually,
that down there, but
but I'll just give you a rough run around of all the items I got
who knows
right
what's in
here
here?
around this area.
Golden runes? Sure.
So the next thing I encountered
Stairwell to
is this
hidden
thing called a
objects.
grafted scion. It's not super hard. It would have been a lot easier if it was in a more open area, but it's not a horrible thing. I don't think it counts as a boss. Maybe it does. If it's a mini boss, essentially, would probably be the best way to describe it. Um, I also you also in that room. There's also an axe that I end up using for quite a while. Um, so yeah, there's also a stone sword key area right around here. It doesn't give anything I particularly care about. I think it's like a knife and maybe something else. Um, I also do find the dogs, but I still think the birds are worse. But those are also mangy mutts. They're not particularly interesting. So before I show the path, um, just want to go over some of, well, not some of, rather, one annoying thing that I wanted to cover. I was going off of a different direction, and it leads to a side of grace. You end up going away from the boss and heading towards the entrance again, and there's a side of grace right by there. You can also open the gates that way, which that area will become important later, but I won't find that out for quite a while, so you don't need to worry about that. Unless you really want to go explore there, and you'll find out why. But on one of the paths here, remember those Stormveil Knight things in like the armor and the wind? There's one of those again, except this guy spews fire. And let me tell you, I don't understand how to avoid fire very easily. And it kills you very quickly. So that is a very annoying guy. I guess I'll give you a little bit of the path I was talking about. This is only information I'll come across later on. But man, is there just a crap ton of enemies down that area. It's not actually that hard to go against a group of enemies, at least once you're stronger. But yeah. So I'll show you the path that I took from the starting to now, and it's not too long. Like I said, like maybe 5 minutes. You'll get there very quickly. While I'm showing the path, I guess I'll also just mention the fact that somewhere in this castle there's an NPC that provides a quest. I saw that when I was looking for the Wikipedia, which I don't normally do. I usually try to avoid that. But there's an NPC somewhere, and I do have to wonder if I pass by her at some point. And if I did, I'm gonna be very sad. Anyways, right outside the boss, there's an Ash of War, I think, like the beetle with Ash of War inside of it, as well as a few jars. I think you can just like, ignore the jars and then go straight to the grace that's outside of the boss room. Hide them. Oh, interesting. Ooh, cutscene. Hello.
Mighty dragon, thou art a
Wait.
true born heir. Lend
Margaret?
me thy strength, O kindred.
No, you're not Margaret.
Deliver me unto greater
You
heights.
definitely seem like Margaret, though. No, you're not Margaret.
Well,
Do you have a dragon? Oh gosh, you have multiple arms.
lowly tarnished, plain as a lord.
Oh
I
gosh.
command thee, kneel. I am the lord of all that is golden.
From here on out, I'll probably, when going over bosses, I'll just go over some of the attacks and comment on them. Obviously, he's got your basic swings and that kind of stuff. I don't think I need to go over that. I'm not going to go super in depth, but just understand that he's going to have basic swings and stuff. I'll mainly go over the special stuff. One of the thing that you should just keep in mind is one of the attacks is a delayed swing where you start scraping it along the ground. You'll notice it because it sparks. It takes a lot longer than you think for it to come out. It is one of those delayed attacks, and you're gonna need to get used to that in Elden Ring. There's also another basic attack. This is a category of basic attacks, but I took notes on them because it's weird. He also has one where he raises his weapons above his head and kind of just waddles for a little bit and then starts rapidly swinging them. Then there's a special attack where he grabs like his weapons and like spins them around in a circle like he's conjuring wind, and that will conjure wind. Um, then he will roll, I believe, uh, and he'll sometimes jump up and slam down, I believe. But the main thing that will happen is he will sling air bullets at you afterwards. It usually comes in bits of two, which hopefully I'm putting the attacks on screen as I'm talking about them. Otherwise, I don't. It's just a black screen. So yeah. One of the other attacks before the second phase is one where he like stabs his axe, I believe, into the ground, and it'll cause a shockwave. It'll pulse 2 or 3 times, and it'll expand further and further. Once again, it's not hard. This is a lot of times you'll just need to get used to it attacking and when to attack. That's kind of the way Elden Ring works. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. I probably could just cut that out, but I probably won't because I'm lazy. And then we have the second phase, which I'll just show you the cutscene here right now. What the heck?
Truest of dragons. Lend me thy strength.
Yeah. Do you remember me talking just a little bit ago about how I don't deal well with fire? Yeah, there's a lot of fire now. And I die to it a lot. Honestly, even with a fire talisman that I have, I still get killed so quickly. I think a couple of the special attacks you change. The one where he spins around the wind and everything gains fire attributes. Okay, sure, why not? Then the ground pound gets bigger. It's a bigger radius. You're gonna need to go farther, and that's it. In terms of the changing special attacks, that's not too hard. Now, the next ones, or rather the new attacks, are a bit more annoying. One of which is fairly easy to avoid. The other one, not so much. The first of the new attacks isn't that bad. He essentially sprays fire breath from left to right, and it's not particularly hard to avoid. However, the second one is a straight on blast that he aims towards you. It has a lot of range, which is essentially most of the arena, and I do not know how to dodge this one. If I had to make a guess, your best bet might be to get up close and personal and like go behind him. That might work, but I never figured that out.
I am the Lord of all that is golden, and one day
Um, but eventually I do end up killing him. Like, well, obviously I end up killing him eventually. It takes me quite a while. I want to say 3 hours. 3 hours is probably the max, maybe. I would say 2 or 3 hours. It's probably how long it took me to beat him. But after which, I end up getting his Great Rune, which I don't do a whole lot with any of the runes until later on. I'll be completely honest. I'm recording this so much later. This these circumstances happened far in the past at this point. Um, there are a few things that I don't figure out about the game, like mechanics and stuff, that I don't figure out until way later, and it's a bit embarrassing. So yeah, we'll talk about that when it shows up, and I can't wait to make fun of myself. But all in all, it wasn't terrible. There's a site of grace outside when you leave the castle. There's an exit towards the back where he is initially standing when he shows up. Just go back there, and eventually there will be a site of grace. There aren't any enemies in there or anything. Um, the castle is very pretty though, in a weird way. Even though it's fairly run down, it has holes in it and everything. It's oddly pretty, and I feel like that's a great descriptor of how Elden Ring is as a whole. It just both looks good, but also is grimy and dark, but it's still very pretty. Anyways, it was fun, but the birds, the birds. Obviously, I cut out quite a lot of stuff. I died a lot, and I probably don't even show you all the items or all the paths that I took. I would say explore yourself. I think the only path that you really need to know about is the quick and easy path to getting to the boss, which I'll show again right here at the end. So, yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I guess I need to go through all the footage and edit all the stuff in. Oh yeah, and thank you to our sponsor again. Thanks. All right, all right. I'm gonna leave now. Bye.